We've done this setup in the previous lab, and we were able to establish an external command and control center to compromise the victim that has DNS-Cat2 installed. All the traffic were blocked except the DNS traffic on port 53. So we were able to compromise this hole in the firewall. Now, how to mitigate this is very easy. Our internal DNS server should only communicate with external authorized DNS servers. And in this situation here, we can easily block the IP of this server and life goes on. Now, we have a kind of workaround on that using this structure here. Now, the internal DNS server will only resolve with external legitimate DNS servers. For that, we block the previous IP. Now, what if we go to, for example, GoDaddy.com or any registrar, register our domain there, and configure the name servers of this domain to point to our malicious server that has DNS-Cat2 server installed on. So our local DNS will not talk to the malicious server directly, but will resolve normal query with a legitimate DNS server, but the name servers point to our malicious server. So for this purpose, we need to set up a cloud server here. We need to buy a domain, configure that. So let me show you how to do that. To purchase a cloud server, you can use VPS Cheap or DigitalOcean. These are two providers that can provide a cheap VPS server per month or even per year. I've done this setup. This is my Ubuntu server, VPS server, and this is my public IP here. It's 192.250.236 and 154. And now on our Ubuntu server, you need first to install git, apt-get install git. After that, you just need to run the commands that we've run earlier on our local machine. Just copy that and paste it here in the terminal. This will install Ruby and will clone the DNS-Cat2 server from GitHub. Now after that, we're ready to run the server. As you can see here, that it has started listening to port 53. Now we can communicate to the server from our client by issuing this command. We can put the server IP here or domain name and then the secret for the connection to be encrypted. To configure the server to accept secret to encrypt the session, you can end the command with -- secret and your secret one. In this case 123456. Just press enter and here we go. If you want to connect to the server, you will use this command on the client. Going there on the client, I'm using the DNS-Cat command, then server IP, port and secret. Hit enter and a session with pre-shared secret will be established. You can as well interact with the session here using the same command we used previously. Let's type the help command and let's run again. For example, notepad remotely. Let's go to the client and here we go. We were able to invoke that from a command and control center over the internet. On the other hand, I have another DNS server which is published on the internet as well. The URL or the domain name is pharmamedcrm.com. This is a test domain that I've been using. So now I need to point or to update the name servers of this domain to point to my malicious Ubuntu server that has DNS-Cat2 installed. So just go here to the domain under the forward lookup zones. If you're using GoDaddy for that, it's very easy as well to manage these. So just go to the settings of your domain or your domain manager and point the name servers. First of all, you have to create on some registrars, you have to create two hosts for name servers, name server 1.yourdomain.com and name server 2 ns2.yourdomain.com. so these two hosts will point to the IP of your choice. So I'll just update the IP here. Here we go, and name server 2 as well. So now my domain will take some time to refresh this and to propagate this over the internet. So my domain name will point to my malicious Ubuntu server. After performing this configuration on our DNS, just have to issue this command here on your client, and the same thing will happen. You'll be able to perform a tunnel over port 53 using a domain name instead of IP.